4 questions in one, and I'll try to sort of be quick.
Labor Party has already made a commitment. We've also tried to connect the Barbara and her friends with the Anthony Albanese. It is a case of how has that route changed? Where is the business case? I don't know what it is with government these days that they won't share business cases with people. So we will give a commitment. We've given that commitment, and if we can keep the federal conversation going, especially during the election, we'll make sure you get to meet those people.
I'm actually supportive of Inland Rail. What I'm not supportive of is a total lack of consultation. Whether I'd support an inquiry or not will depend on where we go from here. Do we see consultation start, meaningful consultation? Do we see an engagement process with affected landholders and people who are going to have their farm compromised by this? If we saw that and that actually happened and happened properly, then there might not need to be an inquiry. I wouldn't support Inland Rail until they do that. When we're going to spend public money, of course we should have a business case, right? So if people are making decisions that are not in the public interest and do not deliver public value, they should be hung, drawn and quartered.
Well, I certainly can't understand myself why they would change the route. The route they had would help a lot more communities, and changing it is the cost. There are other things that I think that are underneath the change.
The whole theory, and I'll bring it out in the open, about Santos and the pipelines and the benefits to them, I haven't seen anything other than talk about it, but it's a worry. If we're only moving it to Narrabri, no offence Narrabri, just to satisfy one part of the community, that's not helping all of us.
We're talking about the private good.
For government policy, it should always be the public good. Good public policy should reflect the needs of their communities. Certainly the missing link here is the consultation and the evidence that we're not seeing, and who are all the stakeholders.
I note that the wonderful system of revealing the diaries of ministers and their meetings. Why would Santos attend a meeting on Inland Rail? And I would like to hear, and they did, they attended a meeting on Inland Rail. They attended with mayors and Santos were there. Will you also consider a commission of inquiry into the change in the rail route and Santos' involvement in the change?
There we go.
Happy to ask it as a question in Parliament. If we don't get an acceptable answer, absolutely happy to support an inquiry.
I'm actually more interested in the inquiry because a question in Parliament is often answered with a Dorothy Dix response, and so an inquiry gives more substance and also is in a public space. We ask a question in Parliament and we move on. Let's not move on from this. I mean, this is a critical issue. It's connected around the big issue why we're all here today about the coal seam gas and the effect on the farms and in this area.
Authorised by no CSG and Barwon, put the Nats Last Proprietary Limited, Mudgee.